at the VFW. Thank you, Legionnaires, in Sheridan at noon. Get involved. Bring along somebody, guys, who are members. You know, you got to replace your members. All clubs lose people who disappear. They go on. They move. They quit. And, you know, you got to keep the membership going. November 12th is our next meeting over there. And June Bureau will be doing, and Irene Kuhn will be doing the job. And that's the end of the news, they tell me, because I cannot read the last 2 or 3 pages I have here, because news time is over. It's adios. I've spent too much time already. So we will bring on the guy who's the geezer. In the meantime, I have a public service announcement for you. This is for you and for you alone. Get humping, Mort.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today.
Be ready. Don't depend on FEMA. They are proven losers in many cases. I got a guy here who wants to tell it like it is, and I'm going to just lean over here. He actually is quite a guy. He shoots from the hip. Did you know that? Yeah. Mort Flexer, the geezer. You're on, Mort.
Yeah. Thank you for shooting at me like that, Reed. It keeps me awake. And in the political environment we all face these days, it's good to have something to keep you awake. Politics are just dull as H-E-double-L. Well, why do I do that? People say hell and a lot worse on the radio these days. And on TV, oh my God, language gets even worse and worse and worse. On the other hand, you know, you really know what these people mean now. Politics has been dull as H-E-double-L. I still can't say it on TV.
Well, you used to be the geezer from hell, remember? And we got so many complaints.
Yeah,
you just became the geezer.
I've gotten older and calmer.
Yeah, sure you have.
I've come to realize I can't have any effect whatever on the political environment, and neither can you. Doesn't matter how you vote, how often you vote, where you vote, or for whom you vote. You probably have little or no decision to make when it comes to selecting those people who are running for office. So, face it, find something to do, collect stamps, take photographs, be happy. Thank you, Reed.
Thank you, Mort. Happy message. Reminds me of the guy who kicked off his political campaign from the cemetery. He goes out to the cemetery and gets a soapbox and starts preaching about what a wonderful candidate he is, what he's going to do for everybody. And somebody said, you know, why do you go down to the cemetery? What are you doing down there? He says, well, you know, half of them voted for me, my opponent last time. I want them to vote for me now. Okay, he's right. The elections are rigged now. Washington's full of very rich people who are screwing the public in general and glomming all kinds of money. They're all bribed. They're getting huge money from organizations and corporations to vote for them, and they do. And at this point, the only thing to do, I keep getting an email message that says the one suggestion is vote them all out, and let God sort them out, and put the new ones in and tell them, you behave this time or else. But they're so rich, they take care of themselves. They're all multimillionaires, and they don't care about the ordinary guy, which is why all these crazy things seem to be happening in our Congress. They don't represent you. Oh, well. Enough said, Mort. Good talk. I'm going to introduce my guests. We have a great program lined up here. We're going to be talking about some of the craziness you see on TV, and on the radio and in the magazines and the papers, there's a lot of gay bashing going on around here. And I went over to Fredonia, and I found there is a very active group over there that defends the gay community and tries to stop this kind of nonsense and the gay bashing and the craziness. And this is Carolyn Laurenzi. She's president of the Pride Alliance Group, and sitting next to her is Kim Kresner, and she's the vice president. And these gals are here to talk about the issues, what they think could be done, some of the other things, and maybe the history, and maybe about themselves. I don't know. You're on. Go ahead. It's just like that, Carolyn. Boom, you're on.
There you go.
Well, tell us where you're from, first of all.
Well, we're from SUNY Fredonia. I'm personally from Long Island. That's where I grew up.
Long Island. I lived in Lindenhurst for 28 years.
Cool. I'm from the Selden area. So, yeah, and we
You're way out there.
Yeah, pretty much. But we go to SUNY Fredonia. There's not much. Yeah, there's.
Did you lose your microphone?
Did I? No, it's right
it's
here.
still there. Okay. Yeah, maybe the scarf went over the front of it or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, I see you got a reverse. It's down inside instead of outside.
Oh.
Oops. Now it's over. Okay, just hold it. You can hold it for a moment.
Okay, sounds good.
Then we'll let Kim speak a little, and then we'll fix yours.
Yeah, so SUNY Fredonia. It's a wonderful little school. You know how that goes. But Pride Alliance, it's a group on campus.
Yeah. Okay. This is an organization, Pride Alliance, that you guys represent.
Yes, I am the vice president. Carolyn is the president. We are essentially a group that educates and advocates for the LGBT community.
What's the LGBT?
Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender.
Okay.
And there are also other.
Do you have any transsexuals there? Transgender?
None
That's
that
pretty
we
hard
not
to
that
pick
we
one,
know
find
of.
one. They're very rare.
Right.
Especially at that age.
Yeah. I know our freshman and sophomore year we
been a
had
couple.
2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a trans male to female and a trans female to male.
We think it's very important to include them under the umbrella as well. I mean, there are other genders such as androgynous or intersex, etc. So we try to encompass everybody and really make sure that we're all united on the same front. And it's good to be there for each other. It's like a support system as well.
Okay. What do you do in order to basically bring on the new group? I mean, to basically promote your program. What do? Do you have parties? Do you have?
Well,
we have weekly meetings for general body members.
Yes.
Am I still having an issue?
Actually, I lead
Let me
meetings
help you
myself.
right now. If I touch you accidentally, it's accidentally.
It's all good.
Essentially, we do just a slew of events that are dedicated to kind of celebrating and educating for the LGBT community. We have a drag show that we do. We do 2 every year. We do like little coffee houses in our local campus coffee place. Every Tuesday we have a general body meeting where we have a bunch of members come in and we pick a specific topic. Where we talk about, because I actually lead the meetings, and I pick out the topic and we kind of just have like a powwow about it. We have a big discussion group and we kind of talk about the issue, how we feel about it, what we can do to fix it, etc. And we try to balance between like happier subjects and more upset subjects.
Got to look at the camera. You've got to make professionals out of you. Yes. I mean, you're talking to probably millions of people because this is online all over the place.
Big deal.
Hey, folks, you can watch this on YouTube. Just load it up Monday if you want to go through the fine details. So you do have quite a lot of activities in the campus, and you're pretty. Do they give you an office or anything, or a room?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
we do
What do
actually
you
have
get?
an office.
Well, in our office, we're located in the Center for Multicultural Affairs,
Yes.
Which is located in the Thompson Hall on campus. And we have your basics, desk, computer, all those. But we also have books and movies, so we have resources for the GLBT community as well.
Okay, fine. And incidentally, for you people that are sitting there wondering what's going on, these guys are not both gay.
I am, but
I'm not.
Right, but well, it's a nice combination, and I'm not either. I want you to know that. Ask my wife. Well, okay. So at any rate, it's a good organization, and most campuses, I assume, have such an organization, don't they?
we're actually one of the campuses that we know of that have a very strong gay community, and we actually have one of the more put together groups that we've heard of.
Somebody, first of all, since Roman times, it was anthologized. 10% of the total population is gay. It's a lot of people.
Yes.
And even today, it's 10% at least, according to the people who do the polls. But I understand it's almost double that in Fredonia.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why, but that seems to be, you have a big campus.
I'm not
there.
complaining, but
Yeah. Yeah, we have about 5,000 students. The last statistic I heard was that 60% of the male population was gay or bisexual.
Wow, that's a whopping number, isn't it?
Yeah.
that's
Well, you should have a big club, a big organization.
We do.
Actually, we do. We have one of the, out of all the groups in the multicultural affairs, we do have the largest general body.
Right. Even in the student association in general,
Yeah, just
we
in
have
general.
the
Well, you
largest.
could actually outvote anybody, couldn't you? I mean, that amount.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's great.
Well, that's terrific. And we are troubled. The reason I wanted you guys to come here and talk about it a little bit is by the fact that our own governor, a guy running for governor, bashed the gays. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember what he said, but he was really hit by the press. We had a kid recently who was basically humiliated with hidden cameras and things, and he killed himself. We have a lot of gays that do commit suicide because of the very high percentage in the gay world of suicides, because of the aggravation they have to suffer, the humility, the whole darn thing that goes on. What causes this? You know, why would people attack a large percentage of our population? Not to mention the Roman Catholic Church, among others.
Yeah. I think it's personally, they don't understand what's going on.
There's like a general ignorance sometimes surrounding
about what the actual GLBT community is.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of people think it's a choice and things like that, and just not actually understanding the community and how it works and all of that stuff. I think that's a huge issue.
And that's part of what we try to do in the group. We try to educate individuals based on things like that. We try to make sure that people are more aware of it. And I think the best thing that we can do is educate the general public, because sometimes people just don't understand it, and what they don't understand, it creates a fear of it. And I think that's where a lot of the bullying stems from, because it's something they don't understand.
Marriage. How do you stand on gay marriage?
Well, I'd like to do it at one point in my life.
I'm totally for it. Totally
That is the
for
plan.
it.
I think that people don't understand that gay marriage is a human rights issue, and they focus it on being a gay issue, but they don't understand that human beings don't get the same rights as other human beings, and it's just not fair. And that's a big deal for me, because I do eventually one day want to get married and have like a wife and kids, and that's a big deal for me, and that's something that I really want to do, and that's a goal that I'm going to have. And the idea that I wouldn't be able to do that is just really upsetting to me, because by not being married, we miss out on at least 1,000 rights, and it's rough. And that's nothing that a human being should a human being should never have to feel like they're less than a human being, you know?
Well, the advocates who are against it indicate that it says in the Bible essentially that it's for a male and a female. And I guess that was so that we'd populate the earth, I guess, partly. Yeah. But I understand a lot of the gay marriages have children. There's no reason they can't.
Exactly. People don't understand that.
Right. I mean, I'll admit, I was raised religiously. I was raised Lutheran, and I don't deny my faith. But I also believe that, I don't know how to word this, but gay couples do. They have kids. Their friends will donate eggs or sperm, whatever they need. Right. And adoption is huge. There are kids that want to be loved and need to be loved, and there are gay couples that are being denied the loving of a child because of something they can't control.
Okay, that's another issue that I did wanted to mention. What causes people to be gay? You said control, out of their control. Are they born with it? Is it a gene? Is it background? What is it?
I think it's definitely you're born with it. I think there's I'm not entirely sure of specific scientific research on the matter, but it's something, the way that I describe it to people, the best way that I can think of how to describe it is that, I always knew when I was like 8 years old, and I always knew I was different. I just didn't have any terms to put to it, and that was confusing for me. And then I got older, and I was like, oh, I'm a lesbian. Not that that's a bad thing. It's wonderful. I love it. But I mean, it's just something you always know in the core of yourself. You always get this feeling like you're different and you know it, you just don't know what words to put to it, and that's like I've just always